schedule, time, date and channel of the documentary. So in the radio advert, conventionally we put all the schedule information at the end of the advert, so when someone listens to it at the end they can see here where they could watch the documentary. However, we forgot to put the date in, so we only put the channel and the time of the documentary. Here is a clip from the radio advert.
Fast Food Generation, BBC One, 8 p.m.
This means the information wasn't complete, so if someone actually wanted to watch the documentary they would have to go and find the information somewhere else, which could be a double page spread or just try to find it online, which is inconvenient for the audience, so we didn't use this convention fully where we should have. Conventionally the same narrator would be used in the documentary and the radio advert. However, we could say we challenged this convention by using a different male narrator in the documentary and a female narrator in the radio advert. This could be positive in a way that maybe would help us in targeting both males and females, which is something we wanted to do, but at the same time I think that using the same narrator and just following the convention would be safer and perhaps help us in linking the products together more effectively. But then again we could say that there is a different, because the radio advert is very fast paced and we need someone who has a different tone and different pace of this was effective, but then again I think that just following the convention would be a lot more beneficial for us. So here we can say a clip from the radio advert.
With McDonald's serving 3.8 million customers in the UK daily.
Another convention we use in a radio advert is using background music throughout the whole advert. It's the same music that we used as background music in our documentary, which again is another convention of linking those two products together. I think using background music is very beneficial because it makes the ad more interesting, it helps in keeping the appropriate pace, and also from our audience feedback we found out that they really enjoyed the music and they thought it was engaging and it kept their interest.
This new documentary investigates the shocking routines of today's teens. What is the real price of fast food?
This is another convention that we just used and followed safely because we just felt more comfortable following most of the conventions and not challenging them in many ways. We also used a convention of using vox pops and snippets of vox pops and expert interviews from the documentary in the actual radio advert. The ones we used were students listing their favourite fast foods, and we followed it with one of our experts saying that nowadays teenagers are less fit and healthy due to consumption of fast food. So this again reinforces the binary opposite that we try to create in all of our three products, which is representing students as being very careless and very keen on fast food, not really caring about their health, and then contrasting it with an expert, which was usually a teacher, an adult, saying how fast food is negative for their health and how teenagers are usually not aware of the implications. Then again, including the vox pops and just parts of the documentary in the radio advert is a good way to show the audience what they can expect from the documentary. Perhaps our primary target audience, teenagers, would be more interested in it once they hear someone their age in the radio advert, because they could easily relate to it and maybe try to find out more. We felt more comfortable following the conventions in most of our products because it was our first time creating this type of media text, and we just wanted to make it as good as possible, which we thought we could achieve by following common conventions, because obviously they're in place because they're effective and someone developed them in a way that is beneficial for media producers and helps them encode the message that they want to encode. And then we did develop and we did use a few of the conventions that I mentioned before, because there were certain ways that we wanted to do differently while still mostly following the conventions and just kind of sticking to what we know and what we've been taught in our media lessons.